Kol halol Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ruach. Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine. To the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. Internet Explorer is dead. It's the end of an era. Remember this day, as Microsoft has officially retired IE, marking the end of a 26-year era for the once dominant web browser. Microsoft will now automatically redirect the 7. There's that 7, that number 7 completion. The 7 users still using Internet Explorer to its edge browser, because we're at the edge of this man's system, you know what I mean? So for the next few months, support for IE has officially ended, and in its place is a prompt to use Edge instead. Eventually, a Windows update will permanently disable the formerly ubiquitous, which means omnipresent or present appearing or found everywhere, Blue E, removing it from all PCs. Yeah, that's the main point. All this is pretty much, the rest is garbage. This is the point. So we know that this is a prelude to what's going to happen with YouTube, because YouTube is owned by a company too. Just like this Internet Explorer was owned by Microsoft, you followed up the ladder, you find out these companies that own these companies that own these companies, and they all lead back to the wicked banking elite, which are the elite of Esau Edom, which is the biblical name of the so-called white man. So you already know I have to go to Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right. Look, what do you most like? Because you could be on a boat listening to this, right? But you're on land. All right, you're on land, and we know that the current bread you eat from the grocery store and the current water you eat from the drink from the grocery store or wherever the fuck you get your shit from is GMO. It's not real. It's basically the polyester of food and drink, if you would. Sorority of famine on that front. But it continues on to say, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And what's the main way we hear the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai? Through, spiritually through the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, but I'm talking about carnally speaking, we hear it through the internet, which we see that they're shutting down. We hear it through using YouTube, which they're going to be shutting down, Daily Motion, blah, 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 blah. You keep going, and then sites can keep popping up. So they're like, fuck it, let's shut down the electricity. You know what I mean? Why do you think they want everything digital? They want absolute power to be able to shut down any facet of anything. You know what I mean? Why do you think they promote those thermostats that automatically change? So fuck around, someone hack that shit, cook you from, they could be in China, fuck around, take you out, you're in motherfucking Nigeria. You know what I mean? So it says here in Romans chapter 13, verse 4, this is AP Apostle Paul, for he is the minister of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai power to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid. Now, who is the he it's talking about? The he rate, Yah. It's talking about Esau Edom. All right, you might be saying, how is Esau Edom? Well, you're thinking of like a minister, like Reverend Pork Chop. All right, in fact, even if you go to this clergyman, right, you're thinking of that shit, right? But you gotta go deeper. It's basically like a representative would be, but a representative on the left hand side, because Yahweh Shemashai deals with both good and evil, or the right hand and the left hand. All right, to thee for good, right? Because when we hear about Edomites taking down wicked Israelites, I mean that's a good thing. Like, how would that be a bad thing? Okay, fine. Yes, you despise the fact that an Edomite is taking down an Israelite fundamentally, but we both know. Like, look what the scripture continues on to say: "For he beareth not the sword in vain." Yahweh Shai knows that wicked Israelite spirit, his mind, his lineage, what he's done in his past life with his forefathers and whatnot I've done in the, you know what I'm saying? So when we hear about a stray bullet hitting a little girl, an Edomite shoots a bullet and the stray bullet hits a little Jake girl. Well, this sword is not it's not in vain. It's not beareth in vain. For he is a minister of Yahweh Shai, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, just by a process of elimination, look at the top nation right now that has the most nuclear arsenals, that have had the most destructive history and present. You know what I'm saying? It's Esau Edom. But Esau Edom is controlled. He's controlled opposition, but on a spiritual level. But he has a purpose, because in Ecclesiastes 3:1, Malak Shalom, or King Solomon in the English, to everything under the heaven, there is a purpose, there's a time and purpose, right? Roughly paraphrasing. So even Esau Edom has a purpose, and we just read his purpose is to be a revenger, to execute wrath upon anyone that does evil. All right, I'm leading up to the point of how this relates to why the internet being shut down. All right, because it's not just killing that Esau is gonna do. He also shuts stuff down. He puts things into legislation that has effects. You know what I mean? He might change an ingredient in an item that's popular. Well, who willed him to do that? Yahweh Shai. Who wills him to put poison in the water and in the atmosphere? Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai doeth all these things. All right, it says in Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach chapter 39, verse 29, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. So when you have a famine of the word, that's created for vengeance. You know what I'm saying? And who's going to have the ultimate vengeance? Ultimately, Yahweh Shai. He said, ultimately, vengeance is the Lord Yahweh Shai. And on the right-hand side, he's sending his sword. But on the right-hand side, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. I mean, we've seen the left-handed sword, Esau, doing this shit. Now imagine a right-handed sword that has infinite power. We can't even comprehend, even though we can, spiritually feel the vibration. You can just feel it. Like, wow, that's amazing. All right, so jumping down to Acts 17:5. But the Jews which believed not, moved with envy, took unto them certain lewd. Okay, now when you think of the modern term of lewd, you think of some, sexual depravity, right? But the biblical definition of lewd, it's a villainy or wickedness. All right, and who's the ultimate villain? Esau, Edom, in a carnal sense. You know what I mean? Or wickedness, not lewdness in the modern sense of the word. The word lewd is from the Saxon and means properly ignorant, unlearned, and hence low, vicious. All right, so boogieing back to Acts 17 and 5, but the Jews which believe not, so 2/3, if you would, of our nation, which is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Haitians, West Indies, and Israelite foreigners, those that may look like the heathen nations, but have the spirit of an Israelite, the spirit that goes back to the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, so you had 2/3 of our nation, wicked motherfuckers, if you would, right? But the Jews which believe not, moved with envy, took unto them certain lewd fellows of the baser sort, so low as fuck, and gathered a company, so a group, and set all the city on an uproar, right, with their bullshit, probably some nigga shit, there goes the neighborhood type shit, right? And assaulted the house of Jason and sought to bring him out to the people. So the point was to go into that word lewd, all right? Because why, you may be asking, Cousin Yashar, I'm going to tell you why. This is Tobit 4:13. Now, therefore, my son, love thy brethren, right? Those that do the will of Yahweh Hashem Yashai in truth and sincerity, and despise not in thy heart, right? Your mind, your lob. Lob is Paleo Hebrew for mind. Thy brethren, okay, despise not in thy heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people. Wow, that's heavy still. And not taking a wife of them, for in pride is destruction and much trouble. And in lewdness, all right, and we got the definition of lewdness: bang, bang, chop, 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 bang, bang, villainy or wickedness, not lewdness in the modern sense of the word. The word lewd is from the Saxon and means properly ignorant, unlearned, and hence low. You know what I'm saying? All right, jumping back to Tobit 4:13 from here, for in pride is destruction and much trouble, and in lewdness is decay and great want. Con. That's so, wow. What scripture comes to mind? Those that wander out of the knowledge shall remain in the congregation of the dead. You know what I mean? Roughly paraphrasing. For lewdness is the mother of famine. All right, and we're in a famine. Now we're going to have a spiritual famine. All right, because it's all biblical prophecy. The prophets are going to be removed from, where are they going to be removed from? The sidewalks. And then the internet's going to be shut down, shit like that. You know what I mean? And all you're going to really have is if Yahweh Shemashai wants to save you or not. That's all you have. You know what I mean? No works lest any man shall boast. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's an important point in Tobit 4:13. For lewdness is the mother of famine. We learned that lewdness, going back, unlearned, ignorant of who? Yahweh Shai, right? That coincides with Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And what's vicious? A beast. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're likened unto beast. You know what I'm saying? So, because the only ones that won't be ignorant are the elect of the nation of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And on down of Israel, ultimately. You know what I'm saying? The nation of Israel under Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So it says in Amos 8:11, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai power, that I will send a famine in the land. And we know that lewdness, ignorance, is the mother of all is the mother of famine. So I will send a famine in the land, right? And Babylon the Great. You know what I'm saying? So not a famine of bread, because we know that the shit we eat is currently GMO. It's not real. So there goes that. Nor a thirst for water. The water we drink is mad polluted. Like, I don't even know if you can even call it water. You know what I mean? Like, we should just call it clear liquid that tricks our body into thinking it's hydrated. All right. Nor a thirst for water, but of the hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh Shemashai. And going back to the article, just take off the word explorer. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going to be happening soon. So with that, I hope you're edified. Shalom.